Weren't we just streaming?
Oh, we're here.
Or haha.
Pokemon Day, everybody.
It was Pokemon Day. We had a Pokemon stream recently. It was some fun stuff. Welcome to the Blind Wave podcast, everybody. How are you guys doing? There's I don't know where he is.
Calvin. I don't know where he is.
He thought it was still Pokemon.
He did.
Is that what happened? He is, yeah, he's cosplaying as John Cena. You're right, Jedi. Exactly. I don't know. Is Eric muted?
How about now?
His knob was all the way
My
down.
slider was all the way down. I must have did that earlier today.
You got to put that knob up, Eric.
Damn you, Pokemon!
Well, welcome, everybody. If you were interested in any of our Pokemon stuff, that is also here on Twitch and on Pokemality. You can check that out. There was a lot of announcements for that today, which was cool. But we're back for the Blind Wave podcast to talk about some Blind Wave things and some not Blind Wave things. So, how's everyone doing in a general sense first, though? Usually that's how we start, right?
My mustache is getting this long.
What is that? Are we measuring mustaches?
Yeah, it's
impressive.
That's how I'm doing right now.
There's mine. See, look. Mine's
It's
thinner.
doing pretty good.
Mine's thinner.
Do you have any bananas? Can we like?
Do we have any?
Bananas?
Okay.
So anyway, that's how I'm doing. What?
Jake.
We do have Power
We
Rangers.
have Power
We can
Rangers,
use that
he
to
says.
measure.
Yeah, we can measure with Power
Have we ever
Rangers.
told that story on podcast?
I don't know. Do you guys know the Power Ranger story?
Unit of measurement.
So we can tell them properly.
I don't think they know.
I don't know if they know or not. I'm curious on. I don't know how well you guys know it. The Discord might have been told about it at some
Maybe, yeah.
point, maybe. I could see Jake being like, guys, I'm stuck and this is what I have to work with and I hate it, you know? All right, so let's see. What were we doing initially? We were, I think they were working on trying to prop up the TV mount or something like that,
we were
right?
wanting to raise the TV up off the ground a little bit.
Yep.
So Jake was messaging us and was asking us for a measurement of how
How wide the TV stand was?
how wide is this TV stand?
Yeah.
Or something like that, right?
Something along those lines, yeah.
And we sent back, I don't know, I had the picture, but we just sent it back a picture with this next to it. And just as a reference for scale.
Yeah.
And Jake just sent back like, I don't know what I expected.
So we had the whole team in these Power Rangers. We got it in mailbag, I believe. And Calvin and I had laid down like multiples of these on the floor.
Head to toe.
Yeah, head to toe. And sent him a picture being like, there he is. What was it, like 4.5 Power Rangers, long or something like that, whatever it was. And then we like stood it up to be like, and half a Power Ranger tall, whatever the case was.
It worked.
And apparently it wasn't very helpful for him.
Yeah.
Right, Calvin?
As the Baba said. And this was really early of him being hired.
It was fairly early
This
on.
was the first couple months or so.
But for whatever reason, it didn't help him enough. So then we also measured, I believe, in Molniers.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
did
We took the Molnier off the wall and just measured it in that.
Yep.
Yep.
And I think he gave up. So yeah, good times.
Tiger Zord.
Welcome, Calvin.
Hello.
We were worried that you thought it was still Pokemon, so you didn't show up.
Nope. Not still Pokemon.
Yeah, we're back now with other stuff. So
As on the toilet.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know why we got into that. Eric was measuring mustaches. We were showing mustaches, and
Same,
we're wanting a
mustache.
Power Ranger
Yeah.
for scale.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so now they know how long our mustaches are.
Okay, cool.
So
Can I borrow that?
yeah, sure, there you go.
So what,
We were-
in what
we were-
orientation?
We were just pulling out the
Yeah, we're
mustaches,
just-
and then
Oh,
like,
okay.
everything we had to, yeah. So you
I need like,
Mine can touch my eyeballs.
do you want your mustache to touch your
No,
eyeballs?
but they could.
No, mine go to like here.
I don't know if that helps
Well,
anyone.
You
Maybe if I
can,
took
you
it
can
up.
keep it.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
Yep.
I'll you can
Like
keep
bite
it.
marks now.
Love someone turning in right now. What are the guys talking about today?
But that started because it said, "How's everyone doing?" Well,
Yeah.
in a general sense, how's everyone been? Anything new going on or anything?
Not a whole lot.
I've been working on a hint hunt.
A hint hunt.
Yep, a Mr. Robot replacement hint hunt will be dropping Sunday. Sunday. So if you have never engaged in one of those before, head over to our Discord, discord.gg/blindwave, and join the collective to try and defeat me.
Let's see. This is for the Mr. Robot, right?
Yep.
Replacement poll.
Robot.
When do you know when that starts, Rick? Did you say?
The hint hunt?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Okay, I missed that. How?
At this point, we have finished recording Mr. Robot.
Mm-hmm.
They know, Aaron.
How do they know?
Because it's inevitable.
Because you told them.
It's inevitable that it wins.
Anything new with me? I think it's been fairly tame this last little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you've been sick.
Well, that was last week, week before.
Week before.
It's been a little bit.
Ish.
Yeah.
I still have just like kind of, I don't know, congestion and stuff.
Yeah.
Had a fairly rough time on Dark Souls on Monday,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pleased to hear.
so that was not as fun as. Well, I mean, I beat 2 bosses. I beat
Yeah.
2 bosses. I have 4 left to go. I'm starting the second DLC on Monday, so that
Cool.
was, I mean, good. But I'm sitting at 269, so I need to beat 4 bosses with 30 lives.
Ah.
It's
How many lives did you lose to the 2 bosses that you beat Monday?
like 22 or something.
Huh, doesn't look good.
Aaron, I believe you can do it.
It's possible. I have had some.
I don't want
bosses
you to.
That I've like one-shotted
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
or like beaten like 3
Yeah.
or 4 attempts. So like I could do it.
I know. That's the thing. I need you to believe that you can. So if it doesn't happen, it's worse for you.
So I'm even more upset. The thing that's nice is that once I hit 300, then I can just go. You know, it's like balls to the wall. I don't care. There's no way I'm gonna hit 400. You know.
Yeah.
I'm confident at most we hit 300 and we get one more of those movies. One more. Only one more, Calvin.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Only one more.
Pretty sure.
Rick, how many more movies are there?
Well, I'm trying to find this Neil Breen tweet.
Tweet.
A
I
tweet?
need a tweet.
Is this?
So if you don't want me to die anymore, show up and give me your power on Monday and be like, you got this.
Oh, here we go. So
Just don't say it in the middle of the fight, because then I die immediately. That's happened so many times. It feels like, oh my god, this is the one, and then like
All
I
right.
die and I look over and chat has already. I see it. I'm
Yeah.
Chat, you know
Say
what
it
to
then.
do. You know what to do, chat. You just got to show up.
Neil Breen has released 6 feature films. However, on February 5th, he tweeted out, "I'm very excited about the writing of the script for my new film. My creativity and imagination are really flowing. Near
This-
completion, on schedule. ...
That's he likes his extra long ellipses. I remember that.
Now.
Well, good for him. 7
So-
feature films.
Yep.
Please.
The next one for us will be number 4,
Yep.
Pass Through.
Oh, pass through. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Aaron Shore, I've been working on my dodging. That's how I do most of my movements.
Dodge!
I hardly ever parry, and I rely on my dodge. And
You
I have
should
a
parry
ring
more.
that makes my dodging, but no, because it's too far in. At this point, if I start trying to parry, it's going to cost me 50 lives trying to get my parrying down.
That's how I feel about lock on.
Just
No, you just push the button, you're locked on.
Nope.
Calvin, that's how it works.
Nope. That's not how
I
it
don't
works.
understand
That's how
your-
it breaks.
I don't understand your hatred for
It isn't
lock-on.
consistent.
It makes so much more sense why you're
If they're
just...
going to take control away from me, it should work all the time.
That's why you're so bad at some of these games, because you just don't understand how to lock on. It's an easy, nice mechanic to have.
It's a bad mechanic. I hate it.
No.
I will admit that I'm bad at some games,
Good. Good.
but it is not because of lock on.
It is.
Aaron, just start Sekiro. You'll learn how to parry real quick.
That's why.
Yes.
That's why people have asked about Sekiro, and I'm like, I'm not going to that one right away. I'll go to that one later. So
Did you not play Devil May Cry 3 with your Royal Guard?
I did not play Devil May Cry 3.
Ah, man.
I don't think.
And you don't play as Ike, so
You don't no parry there.
No,
I know you're bad with parries.
you
can do
parry
perfect-
as
perfect shield.
any Smash player. Anybody.
How often do you do that?
I mean, sometimes I
Intentionally.
accidentally do it. Usually I try to dodge.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I thought of a story that I had skipped over during the holidays. Recently for Christmas, I got finally, after ordering it for a long time, The HasLab Ghosts Hasbro vehicle, which I believe I'm not the only one here that got
Oh, you're not?
that.
Wait,
Right?
when did you say you got it?
Well, over the holidays is when I
okay.
got mine.
Okay.
But I can
was
tell you exactly when I got mine because the story is it was Christmas Eve, and I'm, it was
And
very
all
nice.
through the county.
Yep. I was all bundled up in front of the fire waiting for Santa the next morning. But no, I got a phone call, and it was a mailman, and he was at my previous address. And he's like, hey, I didn't realize I hadn't changed my address because I had ordered that so long ago, And he was like, I have this here. I'm doing deliveries, but, if you want to just come find me, I'll be around this area in the neighborhood. So I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there in 20 minutes.
You love the hunt.
I do love the hunt. So I had to go hunt for this mailman. I finally find him, and I just thought, man, I've never had a mailman just be like this. And he's like, yeah, I just figured it's Christmas Eve, and I'm sure your kid would love that open this in the morning. And I just was filled with so much joy that this guy was thinking about that kid having that thing that I couldn't bear to break
take
it
it
to
away
him.
from
And
him.
I said, sir, my son is gonna love this.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't bear to keep that feeling of joy away from him. Like, no, this is for me. Thanks. Yeah, so that was a story that I had forgotten about since Christmas.
That's
great.
So you
Yep.
claimed a fake son to make his day
No,
a little
I
happier.
claimed
Or to save yourself embarrassment.
it wasn't necessarily, I'm not embarrassed at all. There was just something about, that was so nice that I want him to, go home and tell his wife, how nice he is.
Yeah.
And not
No,
be like, and turns out it wasn't, So,
Yeah.
if anything, it was for him. It wasn't for me.
Sure.
I don't have shame.
According to the IRS, I have 6 kids.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
All right. That's funny. No, I don't. You didn't say that. I think we talked about the ghost coming in and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think you ever said that.
finally have it downstairs here. I brought it from the house.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have mine in its unopened shipping box.
It's a hell of a box, huh?
It's quite large. It's bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's
But I mean, based on the shape, it
Yeah,
kind
but
of
what
had
if
to
they
be.
fucked up and it's not that?
That would be tier worthy. Rick, I had no concern up until this exact point. I mean, it says what it is on the outside, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know what they shipped out.
I don't. I got one. I haven't got a whole lot of Star Wars stuff, but I love Rebels. I love the Ghost, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to get one of those. So the order was what, a year and a half ago, however long it had been.
It was
And we got it, and I think Leon helped me carry it in, and we set it in my bedroom, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this.
Yeah.
The box is so massive that I'm like, I don't know where to put it right now, and if I open it up, I don't know where to put that either,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Melanie, we had talked about well, Kanan really likes Star Wars Rebels as well. His name's also Kanan.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe we open it up and we let him actually be able to play with it and stuff. And then Melanie saw how big it was too. She goes, I don't know, maybe we don't.
he's gonna be flying it around the house. He's gonna fall and it's gonna crush him.
I don't think he could carry it. I
Yeah.
don't know what
It's
so big.
I'm
it would
not
be
sure
cool
that I
to
could
make
carry it
some
well.
type of diorama with it or something. Put it in in a hanger or something.
Yeah.
Sure,
lights
yeah.
and fog. That'd be fun. But yeah, you have to have a lot of space for that.
It would be cool to I mean, it would be sad because you'd have to destroy it. But if you just cut the front half of it off and then stuck that to the wall and then built like what you were saying, a hanger or something like that, an underground hanger over top of it and around it, to where it looked like if you go back into your wall, there's the rest of the Ghost in there and
back in there.
yeah.
That's a cool idea, yeah, but I don't want to cut it.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do one of those weird things where there's the head of a deer on one side of the wall and then the butt of a deer on the other side of the wall. I don't want to do that with the ass end of the Ghost.
I wouldn't want to do that either.
Yeah. See, that idea now sounds more lame because of that.
Yeah, look what you've done.
Yeah.
You saying that reminds me, I guess, that so Coulson's been in there's a production for Wonka. There's a Willy Wonka musical, and he's a Oompa Loompa in it. Like he says he's the lead Oompa Loompa. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
But I'm gonna see it. Like it opens this weekend.
Cool. Okay.
But we I can't remember what day it was, and Melanie and I have taken turns like taking him and stuff too, because we also only have one vehicle right now. The van, like Melanie was going to an audition and it broke down on the way there, and she was like alongside the road for like 30 minutes while I was at a spelling bee thing for Colson. And I went to pick him up, and on the way back, Melanie I think she had a craving or something for like soda, and all we had was water at the time. And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind a soda either. I'm gonna stop at Speedway, and I'm gonna grab myself like a Dr. Pepper, and I'll grab her something too. And I stopped at Speedway. It was the one over by Colgate, right? When I was there, the lady that was working there, I was getting into the cooler, and that lady that was working there was like, "Where's Selby?" And I was like, "What?"
The hospital?
And if you don't know the area, there are kind of like two hospitals in Marietta. There is the Marietta Memorial Hospital, which Doorman did an ad for.
Yep.
And then there is Marietta also kind of owns this other hospital that's a little bit away from that one, not too far though.
They haven't always owned it, but they own it now.
They own it now, but it's called Selby General Hospital or something like that.
Yeah.
But the person working at Speedway was talking to this older lady who apparently, I don't know where she was from, but she came to Marietta because her sister was having hip surgery. And I guess they said that she had gone to the hospital, and they said, no, you're at the wrong hospital. You need to go to the other hospital. So she was here trying to figure out how to get to the hospital. And from that location, if you drive, there's like 3 directions you can go from that area. 2 directions take you to different hospitals, and 1 takes you to nowhere.
Literally Lowell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nowhere.
They were talking about. I'm like, oh, it's just down this way. The lady that worked at Speedway seemed to maybe not know really well either. So I was like, yeah, it's just down this way. She had like a phone opened up, looking at the map and then, like directions, and was like writing it on a receipt paper for this older lady. And I was checking out. I'm like, you're trying to get there right now? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I have to head that way anyway. I'm in that truck right there. Just follow me. So when we left, like her and her old red truck that she was driving, like. We pulled out together, and she just followed me down, and I went in, drove around the parking lot, and I just rolled out my window, and I was like,
pointed at the giant building,
and then like she parked, and I gave a thumbs up, and then I drove away. And I hope that she found her sister, and I hope that's where she needed to go. But I was like, hey, I did my good deed for the day of making sure this lady found this hospital that she's looking for.
Yeah,
and
I'm like,
that is a real sweet story. But I was hoping the story would go that she came into the gas station, panicked, asking for direction to Selby Hospital, and because of your contractual obligations to Marietta Memorial, you couldn't tell her.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works. But
door guy doesn't have a non-compete.
Yeah, there's no non-compete.
He can open any doors.
And it's owned by Marietta both ways. So it's
sometimes
okay.
windows.
Could you imagine, like, sorry, ma'am, I'd help, but I can't. Like, sign an NDA, you know, like.
My skills are promised to another company.
I'm just thank God that's never happened
to me.
And
I close the door in her face.
Yeah. Ding!
That's what could have happened. Here's what really happened.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, that was, I forgot. You said about your meeting up with the mailman, and I was like, oh yeah, I helped the lady find the hospital. But then afterwards, I was like, man, should I have stopped or anything? Because like, I was like, you know, I pulled out my way a little bit to do that. It wasn't that bad. But I was like, I also want to get home. So I was like, I'll just make sure you get there. Because otherwise she was going to be driving in the dark with a receipt paper that told her street names to turn on and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, that might be too hard. Just follow this big white truck. So yeah. But otherwise, I think that's all I have. And then Wonka's this weekend, and I'm going to hopefully see Wonka and see how the play goes for that.
Cool. Nice.
Get some candy.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It'd be cool if they throw out candy during it. Yeah. It'd be sweet. Leon was a little upset because he was in Treasure Island and he wanted to be like Willy Wonka or Grandpa Joe or something like that. But because of Treasure Island, they didn't take him because they knew how busy he was going to be in that as Jim Hawkins. But I think he had a good time as Jim Hawkins.
If they're not selling Wonka candy at the concessions, they're doing it wrong.
That would be a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
I don't know. They have concessions. I've never actually. I don't remember ever seeing a play there before. It's at the Guild.
Oh, I've seen one there before. I don't remember if it had concessions though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I went to the Smoot Theater.
The
Smoot?
Van Smoot?
I think there's a Smoot Theater there,
Yeah.
near over in Parkersburg area. But this is the Guild. So
Gotcha.
yeah. Anyway. All right. Anything else from anybody? Any other stories or anything that missing?
No.
One of the days that I drove you home and dropped you off, on my way back home, I saw a SWAT raid taking place
What?
on Colgate.
You saw a SWAT raid.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Wait, did I tell? Do you have any more of the story, or just like?
I mean, no, I was just driving by and they were like walking up to the house with like ballistic shields and
Oh dang.
everything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Did I tell my? I think I might have told you guys about my experience over in Parkersburg, right, with the car chase, or did I not?
No,
Doesn't sound
I don't
familiar.
not
so?
recently.
So
Door
once
guy
again,
is a
Wonka, like
car
Melanie and I have been
chase
taking
guy.
turns, like taking Colson to Wonka and stuff. Some right.
Yeah.
Colson says every time I take him, there is like some chaos somewhere, right? Like there has been a car accident on Route 7 that was like a real bad car accident,
Yeah.
and like things are slowed down and cops. There was a fire at one point that like fire trucks and ambulances were like driving by the theater and stuff too. But like the first day I took him, I've been listening to the audiobook usually when I'm there because it was a 2-hour rehearsal and it takes like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes to get there. So rather than going there and like driving back home or anything, we just stay in town. So I would just sit there in the parking lot and like listen to the audiobook, maybe play Marvel Snap, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I went there and I sat and I'm just waiting. And actually, the one day I drove over, that new buffet over by Big Sandy, right?
Yeah. It replaced the
parked
Golden
there,
Corral,
and I was
right?
just kind of chilling and waiting there. And I'm like, all right, I'll just listen to the audiobook, do this here. And I saw like a car and then a lot of cars with lights speed past. Like that area has like kind of like 2 one-way streets, right? This side and this side. And they were heading like towards Parkersburg, not towards Vienna. And there was like a cop car and a cop car. And I saw a cop car. And I saw a cop car. But they weren't like, it wasn't all Vienna police. It was like, there's a black cop car, a white cop car with no markings but has lights going. Like there was varying types of cop cars, not like, oh, it's all the city police doing something, going somewhere or something.
Sure.
I'm like, what is going on? So I opened up a scanner app and was like going through and found one that was for like Vienna, Parkersburg, like fire department, EMS, police. And there was a car chase going on. And they like, I got to it and it's like I heard like the guy being like, we're on him on here, heading down 50. He's going 100 miles an hour. I can't catch him. And I was like, what the hell? And then like I rolled down my windows and I could hear like the sirens moving like around me, and I'm listening to the app and it's like, we're turning down 5th Street right now, we're on Market Street right now, going on Julianne right now, and like they're just calling out, and I was like, I'm gonna head back towards the theater.
Yeah.
So I went back to the theater, and another guy, he has his kid there too. I texted him because he had texted me being like, hey, are you just waiting around too? Because I was just gonna wait around. It's like, I was gonna work. It's like, oh, that makes sense. And I texted him back and like, dude, there's a police chase going on right now. And he's like, what? And like I sent him my link to the app, and he was listening to it too, and like sitting there, like you could hear the cop cars just racing around us, because down that way it's all one-way streets.
It's all
in different
one-way
directions.
streets, and it's all just a big loop, basically.
And then like from 2 blocks down from the theater, like I think what happened was one of the cops rear-ended the car that they were chasing. It crashed and wrecked off into one way, and that police car crashed into Jimmy John's.
What?
Damn it.
And I know that there were 2 people they took to the hospital. But me
gosh.
and that other dad, we walked down that way. Well, he was following or something. And he was like drove down and was like kind of following around. But it was funny because while we were talking about it, he was like, oh yeah, I was going down. I was like, I was kind of following a little bit. In my head, I'm thinking like, oh man, they're going to swing down one way. And here comes this truck and it's going to catch him with the tail end. And you're going to save the day and stuff. It's like, but that's not what's going to happen at all. But it was just, it made me think of like those childhood like thoughts of like, I remember being a kid on the school bus, being like, "Oh man, if someone ever like got on the school bus,
If like terrorists try to hijack the school bus, I'm gonna beat them, and I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna look like a
They're
hero.
gonna see me, I'm gonna jump behind them, and I'm gonna get them, and I'm gonna save the day." It was like one of those kind of thoughts in my head. But yeah, no, they crashed into there. We were there. We were watching. They knocked down like the traffic light.
Oh gosh,
they shut down that whole like intersection and stuff. It was like a 5th and Market, right where if you know where Jimmy John's is, that's where the accident occurred. And we were just there and we were watching and stuff. And I was like, it was just like weird. I've never been like around a police chase like that where I could literally just hear them like going and driving around the blocks around me.
Yeah.
But it was just you saying about seeing the SWAT thing reminded me of that.
Of that,
and
yeah.
that's been a few weeks ago. I just forgot about it.
Huh. That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, that was it was just interesting moment. I got to see a high-speed police chase in Parkersburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even know we had a Jimmy John's.
We had a Jimmy John's.
But yeah, so ever since then, like there has been constantly like a cop thing happening almost every time, or EMS. Like I saw 2 ambulances driving different directions. Like that one's going to the hospital and that one's going away from the hospital in the same direction.
Yeah.
And like just things keep happening. Colson's like, Dad, you need to stop picking me up and taking me because it's only you. It's never when Mom does it.
Yeah.
It's only you. Huh.
So yeah, there you go. There's another story I forgot about.
Cool.
But I didn't get to see a SWAT raid.
Yeah. No, I mean I didn't
You
see
get to
them
see the
like
raid just like it was happening.
Yeah. It was occurring in like the next literally 30 seconds.
Mm.
They were gonna probably.
Yeah, and you can't just stop and watch.
No.
They don't like that.
No, they do not.
All right. Well, if we want to get into some other things, there's been some different like news aspects and stuff too that I wanted to kind of talk about. One that I saw the other day was about James Bond.
Yeah, let's get into that one.
So James Bond apparently has been purchased by Amazon.
Amazon.
From well, let me. It should be on
It's
here.
producers.
Barbara Broccoli.
Yeah.
Who owns the rights to it, I believe. And I don't know. Part of it was me trying to figure out how I felt about it a little bit too, because like I wonder how Amazon will do with something like that. But I've liked James Bond for a while, and we've been watching some of it.
I believe. Have we watched up to Thunderball? You Only Live Twice. I think it's the last one we watched.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we've watched 5 then.
Yeah. So I'm not in any era close to being modern.
No, we haven't gotten
So
to like.
I don't know what this
anything.
means for people, or for how people are feeling about it.
Yeah. So there was I opened up Variety that had mentioned about it. But they let me see what all it says. So there's been a year of negotiations for it before Barbara has sold it to Amazon. I believe it has fully gone through. When's this one from right now? Let me make sure of the date. This is February 26th, so. But I'm pretty sure it's gone through. It was, let's see. Broccoli comes with the studio's loose plans for their first Bond movie since Amazon acquired it for $8.5 billion.
Wow.
Amazon acquired MGM 2022 for $8.5 billion.
Oh,
So
okay.
MGM has usually been,
Yeah,
them
MGM
out and
usually
stuff.
makes them
but Barbara, I believe, actually owned the
the rights.
to James Bond.
Gotcha.
And they've been working with MGM. I'm sure I think they've had a contract for a while in making the movies. But let me see if there is. What's the actual price that they got it for? Why is it not here? But I also didn't know how if chat has watched a lot of Bond and if they are interested in what some thoughts were. Because I haven't really looked a whole lot into it. I saw it pop up once, and I was like, I wonder what the feelings are for this or anything. Which I don't know. It might not be a bad thing or anything.
Sure.
James Bond Amazon. Let me look here and find.
Like I don't know if they're necessarily comparable, but like we got a whole lot more Marvel stuff once it was bought by Disney.
Sure, yeah, and it continued, like Star Wars too, right?
Exactly.
And Amazon put out Rings of Power. I don't think they own Lord of the Rings, but they licensed it, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, 8.5 billion is what this is. That's all I can find is the 8.5 billion for it. But it says in 2022.
Maybe that's
so
when the negotiations started.
I can't
like
find the actual
late
price point.
2022. You said the negotiations took about a year.
Yeah, that's what I was reading just a second ago about
So
it.
yeah, if that just went through and it's taken about a year or a little more, maybe late 2022 is when the deal started. I don't know.
It's taking around $1 billion to have 007 stewards Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson cede creative oversight of their family's storied James Bond franchise to Amazon MGM Studios. So they bought MGM for about, what would I say, 8.5?
0.5.
And then about $1 billion for them to send their creative oversight over to Amazon MGM.
Wow.
$1 billion.
So
That's crazy.
That's where they're at with that there. But I don't know. I mean, creative oversight. I think the Daniel Craig stuff has been pretty good lately. I think that it had a good like reboot aspect to things. I haven't seen the last like 2 movies, I believe. But I think compared to where it was, even at the end of Pierce Brosnan's era, was overall really good. So I'm wondering what they do. I imagine. I mean, I think Daniel Craig was already finishing with being Bond.
Yeah.
So I wonder who they'll find to be the next Bond. And that one article I was reading was saying that they had a decent feeling of the first story that they want to tell.
Okay.
So hopefully there's decent progress on that. And I mean, when was the last Bond movie? It's been a couple years now, I think, right? No Time to Die, I think, was the last one.
Yeah.
No Time
Sounds right.
to Die,
Probably
release date.
22, 23?
2021.
21. Wow.
So it's been a little while since they've had one. So
I assume by this point they've done all of the books, right?
Oh,
Surely.
man. I don't know. There were a bunch of books.
I know Casino Royale was a book. But are they all books?
Ian Fleming wrote 12 novels and 2 short stories.
Okay.
So he wrote, let's see, there's Casino Royale, Diamonds Are Forever, Goldfinger, Dr. No, For Your Eyes Only, Moonraker, Thunderball, Live and Let Die, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, From Russia with Love.
Okay.
So he has 14 books essentially, is what he's written. Now there are 39 officially licensed James Bond books, but they are all the accumulation of like 6 different writers.
Sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Ian Fleming was the original author of it. So, so not all of them are going to be exact one for ones. I don't know the other ones though. I'd be curious to see who wrote the other ones. But I don't know. Right now, yeah, we're like 5 movies in, I think. So there's still a lot that we have before we would get to probably the Amazon stuff.
Yeah.
But I assume that's going to happen here in the next year or 2, probably for Bond movies. I would say with them having the acquisition.
Yeah, that's like, I figure Tom Cruise is probably almost done with Mission Impossible. So like, as far as long-running action series go, do we just have Bond?
Like, what's the longest running action like franchise for like movies more specifically?
Yeah.
What's still coming out in terms of like the big action franchises?
Fast and the Furious, I guess, has been going on for a while.
Sure, but not as long as like James Bond, right?
No.
I think one of the things James Bond has is that it can keep going because they've already established
They refreshed the franchise.
rotating out James Bond and keeping the stories and stuff going and stuff,
Yeah, like there probably won't be a Mission Impossible after Top Cruise, but I mean, maybe there will. It started as a TV show, right?
It did, yeah. But like that movie franchise has been, Tom Cruise doing it. So same thing with like, you said Fast and Furious, but I don't imagine them continuing that if they don't have like those like main actors kind of continuing the story,
They tried.
No,
Tokyo Drift.
and that was the best one.
It was one of the good ones.
Sure. No, they did. And it's like that one's like the Halloween 3 of Fast and Furious kind of. Where it's like it's trying to do the same feel, but then they just like, you know what, let's just loop this into the rest of this main story and make it work,
Yeah.
So yeah, Jason Bourne's been around, but I don't think it's as big as, some of the others. No, I'm not saying it's bad, Twisted King, if that's how you're taking it. I'm saying it's like it's different and feels a little disconnected.
I've never watched the Bourne movies. I'm
I've
afraid.
seen
I'm
the-
afraid of its cinematography.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But I've seen the trilogy. Are there only 3, or do they make more than 3?
I don't know.
Bourne movies?
Yeah.
I think there was 3, and then they made a 4th like a while later or something. There's
5 of them, I think. Here.
is there 5
5?
now?
Here, 5.
Damn.
Fuck.
Let's
it was
see,
like-
we got
Good
the
job,
Bourne
Matt Damon.
Identity
Bourne
in
Identity.
2002, Bourne Supremacy in
Yep.
2004,
And then the
Bourne
Ultimatum.
Ultimatum in 2007, the Bourne Legacy in 2012, and then a movie called Jason Bourne in 2016.
Never even
Okay,
heard
yeah.
of those last 2.
I haven't seen the latest 2. Oh, actually, yeah. No, it's Jeremy Renner, right?
Oh, it's not Matt Damon.
It's not Matt Damon.
In which one?
One of the last 2, because I've seen the first 3.
Born Legacy, according to chat, was Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, Bourne
Or
Legacy.
with Damon, one with Renner.
Interesting. I didn't know Jeremy Renner was in a Bourne thing. Though, actually, I think he was wasn't he a smaller part before or something? I don't know. I haven't seen those in a long time. And I didn't really go back and rewatch too much of them necessarily. Like some of the stories were pretty interesting, but yeah, some of the I think Eric wouldn't like a lot of the combat aspects. They're just
I like
the-
to see it.
It's a very different style of editing.
the way they're
the fights.
shot and edited is just I don't like as much. The stories I think are fine though.
Sure.
Yeah, I think they have very good like moments.
All I know
the
is
car chases are good.
Yeah,
All I know is the meme of, oh my God, it's Jason Bourne, and then it shows somebody doing something sweet.
yeah. Or someone doing something really
Also,
lame.
no,
and it's
that's
also
sweet too,
impressive.
Speaking of Jeremy Renner,
Like
I
a
saw
300-pound guy doing like free running, but
Yeah.
like it's sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Jeremy Renner in a movie recently, and it was I really liked him in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to be in that. So
Yeah. Neither was I.
So, but yeah, no, I just wanted to bring it up. I didn't know what some people's thoughts were going to be on it, but maybe we can get close to being caught up before the next James Bond movie comes out.
Yeah.
But that's still like 20 movies.
There's a few.
Yeah. There's
And we've got like
it's like 26.
James
Yeah,
Bond Jr.
27.
I don't think we're gonna watch James Bond Jr. Are we?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
James Bond
James
Jr.
Bond in the 21st century? Was that what it was called?
That's Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock
Rick.
Holmes.
Oh,
in the
yeah, you're right.
21st century.
Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
No, that's Buck
22nd
Rogers in
century.
the 25th century.
No, Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. He was doing the song. That's the right song. Watson was like half cyborg.
Yep.
They like woke up Sherlock Holmes from like a cryo
It's
chamber
ridiculous.
sleep.
I don't believe you at
I've
all.
never
This is
seen
a
it.
real thing, Calvin. It's real.
You're bullshitting me again.
I'm not making this up.
I've never seen it. I just somehow know the song.
But yeah, the and then James Bond Jr. was like it was like I don't know, it was an animated cartoon kids show where he was James Bond's son doing little missions and stuff in a 30-minute TV show.
It's weird.
What? I don't know. I mean, do you
I
remember?
mean,
Jackie Chan had a TV
Sure.
show. Remember that?
oh yeah.
Rambo had a cartoon.
Really?
Rambo.
I don't know. I didn't know that.
River's blood. That's a cartoon. Huh.
Oh, Chad, James Bond Jr. See, they didn't remember that. I remember having James Bond Jr. action figures as Magistrate. Oh, he learned the game from his Uncle James. Uncle James.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember it too well. It's been a long time. RoboCop had a cartoon yet. So didn't The Mask have a cartoon?
Mask had a cartoon.
And Ace Ventura had a
What?
cartoon.
But Mask was only like PG-13 anyway,
That's
right?
wild.
Sure, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. For James Bond movies though, let's see, this one over here, that should be 21, 2, 3, 4, 25 movies, I think.
25.
So, and we've seen 5 of them.
Well, that's a fifth.
So
Not
we
bad.
only have 20 more to do.
Only.
Only 20 more. And there's it's like 2 years in between each of these releases.
We've been doing Mission Impossible.
We have been. We have been. What were you thinking?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like
Right, Calvin? Calvin's like, I don't know what we're thinking.
I don't know.
As a whole, I think.
Is this the best that we have?
As a whole, I would say the Mission Impossibles are probably average a little better than James Bond as a whole.
No, I mean,
25
probably.
movies.
Like
You're not gonna
as
have
far as
phenomenally
impactful to the genre, I would say that James Bond is way further up there. But yeah, for like a more modern product, it's probably more in line with that.
I have enjoyed the stories more than some of the James Bond stories and stuff that we've had, but there's some James Bond stories that I do really like a lot.
Yeah.
And I think anyone that has gold in the title is like a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gold, Jerry.
Gold. But
You don't know why it's so great.
I know.
I'm actually excited to get into like Roger Moore's era, because I think some of the I think there's some really good Roger Moore ones, and I think there's also some not great Roger Moore ones, and
Yeah?
I'm excited for both of those.
Yep. Yes.
So, Pierce Brosnan was always my James Bond, but I think he has some good, and then he had like just not good. So
Yes,
I don't know.
not so good. I think he was always good, but the movies around him,
Yeah.
not always so much.
I want to say Sushi Dozen said the Sherlock cartoon mention triggered a memory. I thought I was lying to myself that it didn't exist.
Really?
It's real, Calvin. Real.
Speaking of Sherlock cartoons, there's an awesome one called Sherlock Hound, where all the characters are dogs, and Hayao Miyazaki worked on some of those episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Really cool.
That's interesting.
We just watched Castle in the Sky the other day to cheer ourselves up because our cat died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, sorry to hear that. Hope you guys are doing all right.
Yeah. Sad news.
I am interested to get into the Daniel Craig movies though, because whenever Daniel Craig first came about, I think it was kind of like Matt Smith versus David Tennant.
Yeah.
Where like I'm like, man, and like my first time watching Matt Smith, I'm like, man, I don't like him. I want David Tennant back. I like him better, you know?
Change.
Because my first Bond was Pierce Brosnan when I
Yeah.
was younger, you know,
No, I get you.
Goldeneye and stuff. So like, I don't know. I was just like, Daniel Craig, I don't like him. He didn't look like a James Bond to me, you know, like one of those kind of things. So, but I think now, like, I've seen Daniel Craig in a lot more stuff, and I like him in a lot of things. Like, I wouldn't mind getting a chance to see him be Bond again, and it's been a long time since I've gone through that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I liked what was it, Knives Out?
Yes.
Right? I thought he was great in Knives
Glass
Out
Onion?
in the Onion, Onion one. So,
He was great in The Force Awakens.
Yes, he was.
sure.
Hey, he took direction really well, Aaron.
He's really good in A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
He disappeared in that role.
Disappeared. A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Yep.
He's in that?
He's the knight.
You know, Force Awakens
Very young.
it's gonna be 10 years old this year.
God.
Are you sure?
Isn't it 2015 is when it came out, right?
Do you have to say that?
I'm pretty sure.
Damn, okay.
10.
Okay.
Okay.
What was it there was something the other day. I don't remember what it was. I was like, man, that's oh no, I think it was today when we were talking about Pokemon. It's like, oh, Pokemon came out 29. I was like, next year will be 30 years of having Pokemon.
30 years.
I was like, dang, man.
How about today when we got a VHS tape in mailbag?
Two.
VHS tape, yep.
Yeah.
Too, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, time.
Yeah,
I
right.
cannot stop it.
I guess we can go to the next thing that had, which I saw people in chat asking. So I wanted to make sure we talked about it too, because we already had people talking about it during Pokemon. But Gene Hackman had passed this yesterday or
Terrible
today.
news.
I don't know exactly, but they found him and his wife both in their house. So
Yeah. Along with their doggo.
but like I saw that and I was like, dang, man, that sucks. Because I was like, man, I was trying to think of like, there's some movies of his that I've that I remember and I watched, and like, you know, like Superman,
Yeah.
right? Like I was like, man, he was a great Lex Luthor.
He was a great
I loved
Lex.
his Lex Luthor, which Rick has seen now.
I've seen the first one and the fourth one. I don't remember him in the fourth one.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think I've seen the third or fourth one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you were talking about a police chase earlier, and it made me think of The French Connection, which he's absolutely amazing in. It's one of my favorite movies.
I mean, it's a terrible story to hear, but an incredibly long life. I mean, 95 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like many people are not lucky to reach that.
95.
95.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
retired for a while.
Yeah.
I think he was like writing novels.
Yeah. I think, Aaron, you looked it up earlier. He retired in like, what was it, 2002 or
Yeah,
something? It
something
was
It's been like
that.
20 years, yeah.
It's been a long while.
Which
that
I didn't
he's
realize
been,
it'd been that long since he'd been in anything. I didn't really, I guess, thought
yeah,
about it.
Neither did I.
We should, I guess, mention. I saw that Jedi Michelle
Trachtenberg.
also passed.
Yeah.
Which
Man.
she was only like 30, 36, 39.
39.
Yeah. Which I remember her from. I think I've seen an episode or two of like Buffy, and I remember her being in that. But I also remember her in. There was like this ice skating movie, Harriet the Spy, Euro Trip. Like there was some other stuff that I remembered her from that I was like, man, Harriet the Spy was one that I like. Man, I remember that from my childhood. I brought it up random times talking about.
Was
like,
the ice skating movie perhaps Ice Princess?
that sounds right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But no, with passing of Gene, I brought up like maybe looking. We've done some like letterbox stuff going at like specific years, but
Yep.
I was kind of wanting to like look back at some of Gene's movies and see like what we had kind of watched and which ones we thought of when we thought of Gene Hackman as well and stuff too. So, because there's some of these I did not know that he was in. Like I've seen Ants, but I don't think I remember him being in Ants.
Well, voice of.
Yeah, but
Right.
like I remember Bug's Life, and I remember people that were in Bug's Life, you know.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Ants,
yeah.
Ants, I think I watched once, but I wasn't as connected with it. But there's some other ones in this that I'm like, oh man. So I don't know if we wanted to kind of talk about some of that a little bit.
Yeah, we could do that.
Sure. I've seen
With
quite
some
a
of
few
his
of his movies.
I don't think I've seen enough of his movies, honestly.
He's in a movie with Red Brown.
Well, we will have to talk about that one here at some point. I don't know what the best way to go through some of these are. If we just want to mention different movies more specifically, or what.
Also might want to mention Lynne Marie,
Oh, Lynne Marie Stewart. Yeah.
Charlie's mom in It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
right.
brought
yeah.
it up in the.
Yeah, we talked about
latest
that.
reaction,
in a
but-
recording.
Always Sunny.
That won't be
Yeah.
out for a little bit.
I didn't know her name.
Yeah.
But yeah, Calvin brought that up to us the other day. I don't know anything else that she's been in, but I've liked her as Charlie's mom.
Yeah. LKG said Pee-wee's Playhouse and It's Always Sunny is what she's most known for.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Huh.
I think I remember that. That was like the show, right?
Yeah.
When I first saw her, I was just convinced that Charlie Day just got his mom to play. 'Cause I thought it was really good casting.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she was so funny.
She's a character in a bunch of the Pee-wee stuff, but it changes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she was like a character actor for Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Gotcha.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
So I think of Pee-wee.
She was in The Running Man
Oh.
with
What?
Schwarzenegger.
Okay. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Have you
Oh,
not?
I love
No.
The Running Man.
Oh, Running
man.
Man's so much
I've
fun.
never seen Running Man.
That's so good.
Jancy watches a Korean variety show that's called The Running Man.
Okay.
I'm always like, hey, what you doing? She's like, I'm watching Running Man. I'm like, she's like, not that one.
Clear and Present Danger, Rain Man, American Graffiti.
Dunstan Checks In. You guys remember Dunstan
She was in
Checks
Dunstan
In?
Checks
She was
In?
Dunstan
I do
Checks In.
remember that.
That was a good one.
Huh. I haven't seen that in a long time, but yeah, I remember that one.
A pup named Scooby Doo.
Like, just a voice actor, I'm assuming
Yeah,
that
I'm
because that was a
assuming, yeah.
cartoon.
I'm just seeing the titles, not necessarily the role that she was in.
The Burbs?
Yeah.
Is that the Tom Hanks movie?
I
looks
do not-
I don't.
no,
I've never
I'm
heard
not-
of this movie, but yes.
Yes.
Man, I started that because I think it's like in the horror genre or horror comedy or something like that.
Sure.
I want to say that's Tom Hanks and like Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher's in it. And Corey Feldman.
And I was like, oh man, I might watch this. And I think I started it, and then like it was late, and I was like, I want to watch this, and I don't want to fall asleep during it, so I stopped, and I only watched like 10 to 20 minutes of it. And then I never went back to it, but I really want to check it out. So I just remember like the very beginning, and I was like, this seems kind of interesting. And it had Carrie Fisher and Tom Hanks, and I like both of them.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I haven't really watched a lot of Carrie Fisher stuff either, and I've seen her in a few more things now as different like types of characters, and I've liked it. What was the one? Dang, what was she in? Was it When Harry Met Sally? I think she was in that. Maybe there was something I watched that was like it was an older movie that
Yeah,
I never
that
watched
surprised
this. I should
me.
watch this, and
Yeah.
I was like, is that Carrie Fisher? Oh my gosh! And it's just been cool to see her in other stuff.
She has a hell of a cameo in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Man, I haven't seen that movie in a long
It's so
time. Mark Hamill has a cameo.
He has a
too.
hell of a cameo.
I remember
too.
his. So yeah. So what are you looking at right now, Eric? Are you looking through?
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to get my letterbox up for if we want to do Gene Hackman stuff, but
okay.
it's trying to get me to enable ads. I can't get past
Disable ads.
Oh. Ads help people.
Hit continue
I
without.
know.
Yeah.
this. Oh, okay, gotcha. I need an X, Rick. A red X.
All right. What's the best way to go through these? By popularity to talk about them?
Sure.
Go through that
Probably
way?
the ones
I'm gonna make a
most
lot of people
have heard
angry and not having seen many of his movies.
There's definitely a lot of these on the top that I have not seen. There's the Royal Tenenbaums. That's
Which
the
is a
first
Wes Anderson. That's fantastic, and he's
Yeah.
so good in it.
It's
Really?
very good.
Yep.
one. I have not seen the Royal Tenenbaums.
Haven't.
You've only seen Budapest, right, for Wes Anderson?
Grand Budapest Hotel?
The hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, we watched and reacted to that one.
We did. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else Wes Anderson does, so I can't say I haven't seen any others, but
Life Aquatic.
I don't know what that is. Fantastic Mr. Fun, Asteroid City. I'm scrolling through some now. No, I have not seen any of these.
You know, I didn't think he did, but yeah.
I've heard of Fantastic Mr. Fox though, but I've never watched it.
Sure.
I've also not seen Unforgiven.
I don't think I've seen Unforgiven.
I
either.
also haven't seen Unforgiven.
Actually, this whole top row I haven't seen any of.
Calvin?
Hang on.
Why is Jake slapping stuff over there?
I mean, the people that I've heard talk about Unforgiven are the same that I used to talk about Tombstone. Yeah?
No. The best Western.
Don't let Aaron speak.
The best Western.
Don't
since
let Aaron
Tombstone
Mute Aaron's mic.
is
Aaron,
further down.
cut his mic.
this
Cut it out.
list,
Cut it.
And we're not there yet. Okay.
End the stream.
How could a Val Kilmer fan like
Don't be
Aaron?
hyping up some Western for me
How
and then we watch it.
could
And
a Val Kilmer fan like Aaron possibly disparage that movie?
No. I'm just saying.
No, I've heard it.
I don't know Unforgiven, but I'm saying there's another Western lower that's better. But I say that with no information on what Unforgiven is.
Yeah, I hear really
Yeah.
great things though. That would be cool.
I haven't seen The Conversation, but it's a Francis Ford Coppola, and it's on my list.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Unforgiven.
Really? You haven't seen that either?
I don't believe so.
So none of us have seen Unforgiven.
Rick, you say you have or haven't seen Conversation?
Haven't.
Okay, I haven't seen it either.
Nope.
Like I said, I haven't seen this top French Connection.
French Connection is one of the best movies ever made.
I've never seen it.
It was on a list when I went to a film class of like 5 movies that you have to watch, and it's the only one I didn't get to.
It's a really good one.
I watched
What were the other four?
I like The General. I
Sure.
think it's called, like with the train sequence and
Yeah.
you know, like classic
Buster
stuff.
Keaton.
I don't think I finished a class, so I didn't get the French Connection.
Okay. And then Young Frankenstein is one like I've wanted to watch it. I just never.
You haven't
have.
seen Young
I
Frankenstein?
can't believe you haven't
I don't
seen
know.
Damn,
Like I
Young
say, I think this
Frankenstein.
whole top
Guys,
row I haven't seen.
crazy.
I also
Aaron.
Aaron, it's crazy
seen
that
it
you
either?
haven't
I also
seen
haven't
Look,
seen
Aaron hasn't
Young
seen it. Aaron,
Frankenstein.
that's point and laughing at Aaron,
Crazy.
too.
You can't say point and laugh when you did the same thing.
I'm just saying.
Stop trying to
everyone-
deflect off
It's
of
not
you.
crazy.
You haven't seen
It's
it.
not crazy. There are millions of things that all of you haven't seen.
Right? You haven't seen Aladdin,
Millions.
I've seen Aladdin.
the animated one.
You've immediately disproven your own point.
But no, I haven't seen Young Frankenstein. I've seen a lot of other
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks stuff.
Yeah.
But Young Frankenstein is just one I haven't seen.
Man, it might be my favorite Mel Brooks. I don't know.
It's quite good.
It's,
Everyone change your recommendations. They must see Young Frankenstein.
it's either one or two, I think. Birdcage is fantastic. That's
It's been on my list too, and I haven't seen it.
you
I have
you
not
would
seen
like
it
that
either.
one.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
I think it was one that came out when I was younger, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I like Robin Williams because that's him too, right? Williams?
Robin Williams. Nathan Lane is fantastic.
Yeah,
as well.
Nathan Lane. But I've never seen that one either.
Huh.
The first one on the list I've seen is Superman.
Bonnie and Clyde is also very good.
I haven't seen. I know.
I
of
haven't
the
seen
story
that
of
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
but I've never seen it.
And yeah, I've fairly recently seen Superman for the first time
Superman the
on
movie.
the channel.
Yep.
And I'm still waiting for number 2.
Number 2 is a special one.
Yeah.
The Terrence Stamp kicks in the door on number 2.
People seem upset about Young Frankenstein and Birdcage so
Yeah,
far.
I imagine. No, I mean,
Understandable.
And the French Connection.
I
Good
think
Lord.
that, you always see Lex Luthor actors, they're always being asked, like, who was your favorite Lex Luthor actor? And almost all of them will say, well, of course, Gene Hackman. Then I'll give you who my favorite is, because everyone just grants that they love Gene Hackman so
Sure.
much as that. So
And it's so different from most of the other things I've seen him in.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
he seems like he's having a lot of fun in that movie,
for sure.
in that role, and the movie's very important to me. So
I want to clarify. Someone who was this?
yeah,
Camino, who said, "What kind of Mel Brookless life are you even living?" Like, I have seen Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I've seen Blazing Saddles, History of the World Part 1. I saw the series that they put on Hulu. Like, I've seen
Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Robin Hood Men in Tights. I've seen a lot of Mel Brooks. I just never saw Young Frankenstein.
I've seen Spaceballs and Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Just those two? But you never seen Blazing Saddles?
Oh, Blazing Saddles.
God.
It's between
Eric?
Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein.
Again,
My 1 and 2.
Everything that people have watched,
man. No,
there's someone out there that haven't.
I'm just thinking. I'm like,
No, Jake looked at me accusatorily.
I just curious to make sure that you've seen this.
Nope, never seen.
I love Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
Blazing Saddles
Blazing
is quite
Saddles.
good.
It's very good.
We need an Excel sheet. Make sure you update your recommendations, guys.
Yep.
That's also why I like going through some of these kind of things, because like lots of times you're like, wait, what? I can't believe that.
Well, yeah, you don't think about movies until you're asked about
It's like
them,
when Eric
right?
is like, "You haven't seen Big Fish?" I'm like, "No, I
Yeah,
haven't." Like,
no.
"Oh my god."
No, I never say you haven't.
like
I
a-
say you get to watch Big Fish for the first time. That's what I do.
No, you start with "you haven't," and then you get to that, right?
Mine's always excited. Everybody looks at me and accusatorily that I haven't seen stuff.
No, you accusatorily and
I didn't accuse anything. I went like this.
incredulously
and then in
ask
my head,
me
I'm
sometimes.
thinking about like, what would a reaction be like, and is that a good
Yeah.
idea?
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Has anyone seen Ants?
Yes.
I have, yes.
I'm quite certain I've watched all of Ants.
Yeah, I've seen Ants. Yep, Ants.
Yeah, I've seen Superman.
Well, Mississippi Burning.
Yes.
I have not seen Mississippi
Nope.
Burning.
That looks like Willem Dafoe. Oh man, it is
It
Willem Dafoe.
is
is,
Willem
yeah.
Dafoe.
And Brad Dourif.
Brad
And
Dourif is in it.
Arlie Ermey's in it as well.
Wait, that's the sergeant, right?
Yep.
Dude, I love Brad Dourif.
Michael Rooker.
Eric, you do too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Brad
We love him
Dourif.
for different reasons, which is great.
Very different reasons.
Huh. I like a lot of those actors in there. I don't know what it's about. I can take some guesses.
Yeah, it's it's about a murder of civil rights workers in the 60s, I think.
Is the hour in which this conjurer chooses to appear.
Someone's like, man, I've only watched the
Spell.
forgettable Gene Hackman movies. Aw.
Ill news is an ill
All right.
guest.
We now get to the one I was talking about from Unforgiven,
Yeah.
which is The Quick and the Dead.
Yes.
I love The Quick and the Dead. Remember I said I don't like a lot of Westerns.
Yeah.
There are like 2 or 3 that are on my list. Quick and the Dead is one of them. It's the first Western I remember watching that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We already ranked this one the last time we talked about 95 movies.
Yeah, I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5 as well.
And I haven't seen it.
I hadn't seen it.
So that would be a fun one. I would like The Quick and the Dead.
Yeah.
What about The Firm?
I have not seen The Firm.
Nope.
Looks like
That's a Tom Cruise.
Yep.
I'm trying to think if I've seen The Firm or not, because I don't remember it right offhand. But
Young
I
man with a
believe-
promising future in law, about to sit in his bar exam. He's approached by the firm and made an offer he doesn't refuse.
I believe this is one of the John Grisham movies, and I've seen several of those, but I know I haven't seen all of those.
Yeah.
And I really like the John Grisham like movies that I've seen so far.
Directed by Sidney Pollack.
Yeah. John Grisham is an author for books.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
wrote a
he's
lot
a
of,
novelist.
He wrote a lot of like legal dramas. He wrote I think he wrote like Double Jeopardy. He wrote a Time to Kill. I think is what it's called. I don't know. The Client, I think, is another one. Like, there's some various like legal like dramas that he wrote, and then they got turned into films.
Jedi L says it is a Grisham movie.
So there's quite a few of those that I think are really good. So I don't know if I've seen The Firm. I can't tell you what it's about, so I'm gonna not mark that I've watched it.
Do you want to know another movie that John Grisham is responsible for writing the original version of?
I mean, sure, I guess.
Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh, that's okay. It's not my favorite Christmas movie.
It was unexpected for me. I pulled up John Grisham movies that he's responsible for.
That is. I would have never have guessed that was the movie you were gonna name.
Yeah.
Christmas with the Cranks. Okay.
I had to double check.
All right. What about Enemy of the State?
I have not seen Enemy of the State.
Oh yeah, I've seen Enemy of the State. I like that. Is that the one that I've seen? What was the one that you were talking about earlier?
I did talk about Enemy of the State.
He did talk about this earlier.
I also talked about. Calvin said he confuses it with Behind Enemy Lines. Or,
Yeah.
No, Enemy at the Gates.
Enemy at the Gates.
Enemy at the Gates is like a World War II movie.
I've seen Enemy of the State. I haven't seen Enemy at the Gates.
Okay. Yeah, this is Will Smith and Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
I really liked the movie. I thought
like
it was
this
really good. One of my favorites of Gene Hackman movies.
It's a good one.
Busey too.
I like a Busey.
John Voight, Gina King. Superman 2, Eric.
Superman 2, man.
Yes.
Gene Hackman has so many great lines in Superman 2. I just love Gene Hackman with General Zod. It's so funny.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Either version.
We need to watch that one. Is that Donner Cut one too? Is there one of those?
Yeah, that we would watch the Donner Cut. I would assume we would watch the Donner Cut. I'm sure there are people out there that prefer the other, but I like the Donner one.
I don't know Crimson Tide.
I haven't seen it.
It looks like
Denzel.
Red October ripoff.
This is one part where the other Kryptonians have Superman, and Hackman's like, "Do it, Your Grace. Just grab a leg and make a wish." Rip it apart. It's so funny.
We need to watch that one. I'm at the point now where like I kind of like I don't think I've seen a lot of these now. So like if anyone has ones that they want to point out, maybe.
So I've seen Hoosiers.
Hoosiers?
Yep.
Is
He's
that a football one?
He is a basketball coach.
Basketball, okay.
In that one. And that one's quite good from
wait,
what I remember.
Rick, there's Superman 4.
Yeah.
The Quest for Peace.
Yes.
That's the one you've seen, right?
I have seen that. I've also have seen where he is in there with Red Brown, Uncommon Valor, which is a Vietnam movie.
Oh.
Wait, how far down did you go?
It's pretty far down.
Oh, what?
He had to look for it.
Damn, you're really skipping ahead. I was gonna say I've heard about Get Shorty, but I don't think I've watched that one.
I haven't seen that either.
Neither have I.
That's Travolta.
I've also heard of The Replacements, which is that the one with like Keanu Reeves in it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I don't
he was
think I've
supposed
seen
to
that
be
either. But
like
that
a
one
really good quarterback in that too, from what I've heard.
Oh, there's Behind Enemy Lines. I've seen that one.
I've seen the Poseidon Adventure, but not the 72 version.
Oh, yes, I have seen the 72 Poseidon Adventure.
Poseidon Adventure?
Yeah.
That's
Runaway
where
Jury.
A ship is sinking.
I think I watched one that was newer on like HD DVD. It's kind of like Titanic, right? But a little different, right?
It's a little different, yeah.
Okay. Wait, Leslie Nielsen's in that movie?
In which one?
In Poseidon Adventure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ernest Borgnine, Red Buttons. Is this a fucking comedy?
No.
There's a bunch of fucking comedy actors in here.
That's why I was surprised.
Well, Leslie Nielsen wasn't a comedic actor until like Airplane, right? Or no?
I mean, this is in 72. Dude, I didn't know that the Poseidon was a remake from a 72 like older movie.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. There's a second French Connection?
I did not know that
Yeah,
until
French
I
Connection
started looking at this
2.
list, and I'm like, wonder if that's any good.
Electric Boogaloo.
That's a documentary.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo, The Wild Untold Story of Canon Films.
Yep, that is a fantastic documentary.
Okay.
Man, we should do a reaction to that. That
Well, we
looks
need to
cool.
watch
just,
some of those
just
movies
the
first.
poster is awesome. Holy shit. Oh my god, there's so much on there that Aaron can't see.
Oh, man, okay.
Canon made a lot of classics and a
Yeah.
lot of classics.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen many more of these movies now. I think those are kind of all the ones I've seen. Though Loose Cannons looks like I'd be interested in it. Gene Hackman, Dan Aykroyd, Dom DeLuise.
Huh. Yeah.
It's just the cast mainly, but I have no idea what it's about. But
I've heard of Welcome to Mooseport with Ray Romano and Gene Hackman, but I haven't seen it.
so,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has any other ones, but yeah,
Not seeing too many others.
yeah,
Most of these look like documentaries or
Yeah.
like director's cuts or editor's cuts of other movies that we've already looked at.
what's that one called? Oh, Hawaii, huh? All right, but yeah, I didn't know what all he was in. I'm surprised by a couple things here and there, but like I don't think I knew he was in Birdcage. I knew Robin Williams was in Birdcage, and I knew Nathan Lane was in it, but I've never seen it, and it was just that's interesting.
He has
All right.
like the perfect name for like anti hecklers, like Gene Hackman. You know, like people are usually like, "You're a hack," you know, but
You're a hack,
calling
man.
him a hack would be hacky.
Sure.
He just
Yeah.
has his perfect armor. Looks like he didn't actually start acting until later in his 30s. It was 37 when he had his first role,
Really?
which is kind of rare for Hollywood actors at that time, getting in late in the game. And it looks like he lied about his age and joined the Marines at 16.
Wow.
16.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much easier to circumvent rules and documentation and everything back then.
Yeah.
Oh, Calvin, someone said Marooned actually ended up being on MST3K,
Oh yeah?
which is a movie that he was in.
Marooned.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Looks like a
I have
space
not
movie.
seen this one, I don't think. 3 marooned astronauts, only 55 minutes left to rescue them while the whole world watches and waits. Yeah. Haven't seen this one. Gregory Peck.
Yeah. Looks like his first movie was what, Lilith? I think. I was looking at the first one that was on the list here.
I don't know if it was Lilith or Bonnie and Clyde.
There are 69 movies on this list, and I have checked that I've watched 6 of them. I'm at 8% of Gene Hackman movies.
Bonnie and Clyde was 1967. What was Lilith?
64, it says here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he wasn't like a leading role there or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have. I don't know when his first leading role was. French Connection, maybe. Yeah, looks like French Connection was like his first leading role,
He
probably.
won an Oscar for that, I think.
Wow.
Really?
I think so.
I'm actually looking forward to the Oscars this year. Only because Conan O'Brien is hosting.
Okay.
I love Conan.
But no, there's some really good movies. I thought he was always like a really good actor. I love when he's serious, but
Yeah.
I also love him like when he's not serious. You know?
Yeah.
But I think most of my movies I've seen him, he was usually pretty serious in. Usually, if he's serious in Enemy of the State, he was fairly serious in Quick and the Dead.
Yeah.
You know.
He
So,
has a very unique levity when he's being bad as well. So
Sure,
he
yeah.
finds humor in a lot of things that maybe other characters might not have the flexibility to do so.
Yeah.
He won 2 Academy Awards, 2 BAFTAs, 3 Golden Globes, 1 SAG Award for Best Ensemble. It's a lot of accolades.
Yeah.
But I was sad to hear of his passing.
Yeah.
I will.
But no, I mean, we have no idea what exactly happened. There was this part of me that was saying, like, man, if that's how I'm going to go out, I would like that to happen at 95, not earlier in life, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. You feel more like your life was full and
Yeah.
like you lived it.
Yeah.
It is much more tragic for like Michelle, right?
Yeah.
Like
39.
yeah, that one has a much more tragicness to it, where she did a lot, but he lived till 96, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all right. Well, now that I've been mocked for not seeing Young Frankenstein, and some others
Mocked. Pitied.
What?
Not
Pitied?
mocked.
Pitied?
Pitied.
No,
Pitied.
we're excited that Aaron has a good experience in front of him, not behind.
Yeah. And both of you guys haven't seen The Quick and the Dead, right?
Right.
I haven't seen Quick and
And
Dead.
We need
none
to
of
do
us have
that
seen
one.
Unforgiven.
Yeah, that might be good.
I like the Metallica song. Does that count?
The Metallica song?
Unforgiven.
Oh, I don't know it.
Oh.
Oh, dang, man. This list has more Gene Hackman movies.
What?
Well, no, mine had 69, and I found another one. This has 118.
That's the one that I've seen.
I've seen
that,
even fewer movies
that
than I
I'm
thought I
on.
had.
No, I
I'm at
think a lot of
5%
these.
now.
I think a lot of these are like documentaries and stuff. So the 69 is probably like actual feature films rather than
Sure.
documentaries.
Versus
and-
like Look Up in the Sky, Superman
Yeah.
story one.
I
get you.
mean, Electric Boogaloo's a documentary.
Yeah, that wasn't on my list, so I didn't know where you guys saw that one. So I was like, what is that? But okay. Oh,
Whoa. The Package 89 with what looks like a very young Tommy Lee Jones.
Hmm.
Wow.
package.
Yeah. Look at this, Aaron. Look at little
That
Tommy.
looks like a Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, you're right.
He looks so young. That's like oh shoot.
That was the year I was born.
Damn it, we just quoted it the other day.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he thinking of?
The Fugitive.
Fugitive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't think
The
of it.
Fugitive is I don't care. Which I saw someone ask if we've seen The Fugitive, and yes,
Yeah, I believe we've all seen it.
I've seen The Fugitive. I've seen
U.S. Marshals. U.S. Marshals, I like it a lot as
I
well.
watched both of those. Both great.
One of my first times that I have ever seen RDJ.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always like.
I
I never
rewatched
think
that
of
at
him
some
as that.
point after having watched Iron Man and stuff
Yeah.
too, and I was like, oh my gosh, look, it's him. So
Mhm.
that's that, and I watched Heart and Soul, which I always talk about too.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Heart and Soul, but I've seen Air America. Watched that a bunch growing up.
We will probably also, I saw someone ask, take questions here in a bit. You can just submit them on the channel points on Twitch. We should read Grimbane, who did a super chat.
Oh.
Thank you so much, Grimbane. Make Young Frankenstein your first full-length high and dry. I'm happy to pause and resume with you every time you have to. You guys always have audio on, so can always resync.
I get what you mean, Grimband. One of the reasons we don't offer high and dry, and it's because we are elevated, is you never know what you need to cut out. And that's our safety net. But honestly, you're not really, like, you're getting pretty much all the content we have in there. Just with the idea of having the green screen behind us and literally putting the reference behind us, we can just get rid of it, and there's no need of having to cut things down for copyright with that.
Yeah.
So we often put it behind us and blur when we don't need it. So you're not really missing much, but I understand wanting to watch the entire thing along.
Yeah.
But that is for safety. Did we get the Soundscape of Time super chat?
We have not.
We did not mention it, no.
Yeah, they had a super chat here. It said, can't stay, wanted to say thanks. Season 3 of Black Sails with the OG Reacts, loving it. Reacts without Rick make me a little sad, but I enjoy the ones he's in even more. Heart.
I appreciate it.
Yep. I need Rick's laugh in my life soon. We know Brooklyn Nine-Nine's been a little bit.
I tried Always Sunny. I did not laugh much.
Neil Breen just, it's not Aaron doesn't suck enough. So I just kept thinking the other day, like, man, if we did Seinfeld, every week would have just a golden light in it.
Man.
Like Rick and I laugh hard at that just referencing it. I don't know.
suspect-
Have we ever watched Seinfeld together?
No. I don't think so.
That's crazy.
I suspect I would laugh quite a bit at Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Oh yeah, I suspect so as well. Especially as we get further into it. When it starts, you can get the feeling of like, hey, this was made by, teenagers 15 years ago or whatever. But it goes on. Aaron, I can't tell if you're yawning or shocked.
No, I was like, man, I clicked on a Robert Downey Jr. Thing, and I was like, oh, popular movies. And I was going through, and it was like, some dummy put The Nice Guys. Like, I've watched that twice. He's not in that movie. And I looked through, I'm like, I don't see his name in this list at all. And then when I hovered over it, they said uncredited as this character, and I was like, wait, I know who that character was.
Okay.
He has no speaking roles. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't walk at all. And I looked it up and like, oh my gosh. I didn't know that he was that guy. So,
Interesting. Okay.
if you've seen the movie, after Ryan Gosling finds him after he falls down a hill. Holy shit. And I was like, what? All right. I don't want to spoil anything, but I was so surprised. I gotta come look. Really? He's uncredited as that character. Why? He's just there. He's just there. Okay. All right.
I mean,
it's just so funny. I was like, someone messed up. That movie shouldn't be on this Robert Downey Jr. list. And I'm like, oh, okay, it is. Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
So, anyway. I was just surprised, sorry. And, what were we talking about? I derailed it by being like, maybe we're talking about Rick's laughter.
Yes.
All I can think about is just going home and checking on my carbon monoxide alarms and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's like my house has gas, baby.
Yeah.
A lot of gas.
Yeah, make sure you keep those batteries charged or replaced or whatever.
Why's your bathroom why's your house have so much gas?
We have natural gas on our property, so everything just hooked up to gas.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I thought there was like other issues.
Nope.
Ventilation or diet or.
You need to change your diet.
No, I rely on it for everything, including my generator. If the power goes out, I can use the natural gas to do electricity too. So I just need to make sure I got those updated and functional. I'm always afraid that I'm like not gonna be able to hear something like that, but living with somebody helps.
Sure.
And a dog.
Yeah.
Could hear it too.
Oh man, I can't tell you. There was Aaron, when I lived on Ingleside, it was after you had moved out. There was a time where there was a fire alarm that was going off, and I couldn't find it. I'm deaf in one ear, so I just couldn't tell direction. It was like inside the laundry room that I didn't even know was there.
What?
But it drove me crazy.
You didn't know we had a laundry
No,
room?
I know we did have a fire thing, but it was chirping, a fire sensor.
Yeah, it was just a
It was chirping.
A smoke detector.
And
And
it wasn't going off.
I could.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
no, the chirping was
the
happening. I'm
battery
sorry.
was dying or whatever.
But
Yeah.
the chirping was happening, and I could not find it. Like, I'm sure the neighbors hated me too. I eventually found it, and then they couldn't get it to stop, so I destroyed it.
Well.
I do also want to make sure to say that tomorrow our group stream is going to be Marvel Rivals. And we're going to
Yes.
play with viewers.
With viewers.
So make sure that if you're wanting to join us, that you have your game
Now, does that mean that
Updated.
viewers
installed and uploaded.
Yeah.
viewers will be on your team, or viewers will be your enemies?
No, we'll probably do like play a game with like people and then swap out and get new people, so they'll be on our teams.
On your
Yeah.
team.
I mean, we
okay.
could do a private match and just
Yeah.
invite.
If we have enough people,
I'm
we
just
can
saying,
do,
like,
a private
It'll be
lobby.
fun
Like
to
a
play with the Blind Wave
66.
guys, but it might be better to kill them.
Sure, yeah, we could do private matches. That's
Maybe.
possible too.
Mhm.
So we'll
One
have
of
to
you can
see,
be a captain on each team.
We'll have to see who all we have interested in wanting to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys, if you want to join us tomorrow. That's going to be at 3:00 Eastern time. And it's 4:30 now. Do the math. Well, not that math, but that works too. In 22 hours.
Yeah.
Be back
Kind
here.
of like it's kind of like a sad ritual we go through when someone that so many people adore pass away, and then all this love and support and stories and all this stuff like comes out. You kind of like feel like, man, you wish you would have known that was going to happen so they could, at the end of their life, experience people talking about them.
Sure.
That way.
Yeah.
But it's just a tragedy that it's a cause and effect.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
most
nobody
people
knows.
we talk about, I think, got a good deal of that during their lives.
Sure,
also.
I get you. Yeah.
Does it make you want to like fake your death so you can see what your funeral's like before you die?
Like, man, this sucks.
Damn, man.
Pretty sure Ross Geller did that in Friends.
I don't remember that.
People were not happy with it.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, because you don't remember, like, Ross and Chandler keep going to their, like, college website and, like, updating each other, like, they're like, well, he turns out, he married a man. It turns out you did this, like, to update their friends. And then, like, Chandler just said he died. So Ross put on a funeral for himself. It was really funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marvel Rivals, make sure you join us tomorrow. It is sad, though. I don't know. I don't know if there's a good way of being able to celebrate people before that happens.
No,
You know what
I
I
get
mean?
you.
Like,
I've watched people get, like, the Mark Twain Award,
Mark Twain, yeah.
They often talk about how, like, this is like, it's like seeing, because they're celebrating artistry, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like seeing a version of your funeral
sure.
when you
yeah.
get that, or like a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Sure.
Man, I like watching the Mark Twain, like, acceptance speeches, but Will Ferrell, I know you don't love Will Ferrell, Aaron, but he has the best one because he's written down his entire speech, but in the beginning he drops it and destroys it. And the whole
drops all of
speech
his
is about
notes.
how he's going to honor this wonderful award and treasure it forever and all this stuff. It's really, really funny.
What's the wait? How do you know what is he like talking about what it was, but he
Yeah.
doesn't remember what it was,
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah, I
'Cause he
mean, it's
bought-
his gag,
Sure.
he's making the joke, but he
Oh, what
really
was-
destroys it.
What was the one? Was it Will Ferrell or someone else? Like, there's something I remember watching where like someone was doing some kind of award thing,
Yeah.
and like they knocked over some like old lady or something like that, or like
Oh, that I feel like that was an Eric Andre thing.
could have been. I don't know what it was. I just remember something like that, and like there's a whole thing, and like at some point I think they just pick her up and carry her. Maybe they were trying to like, oh hey, this person and their wonderful life, and they like knock them off the stage in their wheelchair, and like it's this whole.
I don't know what that one
There's
is.
something in my head, and I can picture part of it, but I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was, why it was, or any of that. I just remember seeing something. I don't know.
Sure.
But, are you looking up? Do you think you know what it is, Calvin?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I don't know if it sounds familiar to anybody, but I just remember something about it. All right. We do have some questions also coming in for
Question time.
for Twitch here that we can bring up. Sacha Baron Cohen. That might be. Is that Borat?
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like something he would do, right?
Yeah, that might have been what I was thinking of.
I don't remember what the award was for, but like I remember someone like in a wheelchair falling out, and it's like, oh, they're fine, and like they weren't getting up and stuff, and it was a very like it felt awkward, but kind of like darkly funny.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen shocked audiences at the BAFTA Britannia Awards in 2013 when he pranked them by pushing an elderly woman in a wheelchair off the stage while accepting an award.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's it. Maybe they were giving the award, and he pushed them off, or I don't know.
That guy is fearless.
Oh yeah.
Fearless. I remember watching him when he was Ali G back in the day.
Really, I don't think I've ever watched any of his like movies.
Yeah,
or
you haven't
anything.
seen
I haven't seen Borat 1 or 2.
Yep.
There's 2 of them, right?
two.
There's 2 of them.
I haven't seen those. I don't know what else there's been.
Bruno, the Dictator.
Someone says something about a dictator movie.
Yeah,
I
The
don't know what
Dictator,
that is.
yeah.
It was an old stunt woman.
I mean,
That's so
Borat.
funny.
I thought when it came out was hilarious, and then it got like so big and popular that it like kind of lost its luster. But I wonder if watching it again, it would come back for me. Watching it with Aaron, that'd be interesting, but we'd have to censor a bit.
It's so convincing too.
Oh, you watching the?
I was watching it, yeah.
No, it goes on for a while, and she's just there, and you're like, oh no, she's fine. She doesn't get up, and I think
Yeah.
they pick her up on a shoulder and carry her out.
Yeah.
It was so much. Bruno.
Bruno.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
Bruno.
what Bruno is.
That's
If we want to jump into questions here, I have King Mahler, who said, curious on your general thoughts on Naruto so far. We do talk about it every week, but this is not about anything specific. It's just generally, how do you feel about Naruto?
I mean, I love it. The thing is, I feel like any like fan response I see, it's like, man, do other people love it? I feel like, do I like it more than others already? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, we watched some filler recently, and I legit thought it was really, really good. But there was a couple people being like, this is fucking dumb. You're insulting us by watching this. I'm like, what?
You're insulting us by writing that comment.
I mean, I don't like that. I think about that when I think of Naruto sometimes. But other than that, I mean, it really feels like I'm watching a beloved childhood anime as an adult.
No,
like what would it have been like if I got to watch Dragon Ball Z as an adult instead of a child, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel.
Sure, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, right now, I don't think I've liked Naruto more than I do presently.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's definitely had, like, especially through the first Naruto, like, series, I think I had some, like, ebbs and flows of, like, you know, like, how much I was liking it or enjoying it and different things. But I think, like, right now, so much of that has culminated into, like, a really good point for me right now. And even, like there was some filler stuff that we didn't watch and we skipped, and I was like, man, there were some of these stories that were really good, and then there's a big chunk we skipped and I didn't get to watch those. I just didn't have time at the time. And then we have more here that we've skipped and I've been going and watching, and some of those have been so fun.
Yeah, you were telling us about some of them.
And I understand not watching all of them, because there's some of them where I'm like, I get why maybe no one likes this one or whatever.
I get you.
But there's other ones where I'm like, man, I don't get why we skipped this one. I think us like watching it would have been such a fun time. Yeah. But I understand it's not like the main manga story or whatever, but it just it's so funny and so good.
I mean, just the way we've been doing it for how long we've been doing it, like I feel like I'm one of the villagers that like discounted this boy and now understand how great he's become.
Sure, yeah.
Because I was there as he was doing it the whole time. It took a while, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so rewarding.
Hydrate.
Yeah.
Hydrate. About you, Calvin, as far as Naruto?
No, I'm right with you. This is the best that Naruto has been, and I don't know. I thumb my nose in the face of all the people that says that this is the
don't
this
thumb
is the
your
worst.
nose, Calvin.
No,
it's been thumbed.
Damn
those
it.
people are trying to share the thing that they love with me, and then they're shitting on it when it's its best.
It does, but that comes from that can often come from like they want you to experience the real good stuff that they're like excited for. So it's coming from a good place, but oftentimes it does come out with vitriol.
Sure.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to convince me that there's real good Naruto stuff by tearing down the stuff that I'm watching now.
Yeah.
Sure.
And shitting on it and saying that we're wasting our time and insulting them by watching it.
Yeah.
You know? They could just say, like, yeah, this is great. There's better stuff later on.
Sure, yeah. Oh, if you're enjoying this, just wait.
Just wait. Yeah, sure.
Until you get to this. You're gonna lose your mind, you know?
Yeah.
No,
I hope I do.
And I have the filler side of things, I think that I look at differently than a lot of the others do. Like, I know, like, manga has a story, but I don't look at filler and anime as like, well, this isn't part of the story. It's not meant to be part of the manga, but that's because they needed more time for things. So it's kind of like we talked about Fullmetal Alchemist recently, right? Where like Brotherhood was the manga story, right? Whereas Fullmetal Alchemist, like the first one, hit a point where the manga wasn't there, so they just told a story separate from that.
Yeah.
Like, so do the audiences consider that to just be filler? Or is that, well, in that cartoon anime, it is the story. That is the canon, you know? Like, that's kind of how I look at it more so of like, sure, like, this isn't in the manga. But like, with Pokemon, I think that's why I do it a lot, because Pokemon's manga is so different from the anime.
Yeah.
And the anime, they still call certain episodes filler, which is just like, this is just an adventure episode that's not progressing the main story.
Yeah.
But it's also not filler because it has nothing to do with the manga, you know? But it's still canon to the cartoon, to the anime, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's where I look at it differently than people who are watching it maybe people who've read the manga and I haven't read the manga.
Sure.
I'm just looking at what this anime is giving me. You know?
Yeah. The idea that there is only one canon for each franchise, I think, is a bit short-sighted. You know, that there's only one correct version of the story, and all the others are then filler because of that. I think that's too reductive and oversimplifying.
I think it is useful sometimes to know which things are filler, so that because filler is a lot more likely to contradict or to go outside the scope of what's possible in the show, because the reason that filler exists is the show hadn't caught up yet, so they don't know what's in the future necessarily the same people who are doing the filler.
And then you can end up kind of boxing the original manga artist in a corner with and they're like, I don't care, that wasn't my story, So I get you. That kind of stuff often would happen in Star Wars when Lucas was still coming up with things, and they'd be like, well, in the book, this happened, so you can't do that. And he'd be like, in a book, and they just do it anyway. So I get what you mean.
Yeah,
no boxes are perfect.
It's like the old I don't know. It's the old sitcom where by the end of the episode the status quo must remain the same.
Yeah.
That way, if you just catch it randomly the next week, you don't feel like you've missed anything, right? You can just watch any episode you want.
Yeah.
So the filler sections need to have as much of that as they can, while giving you some kind of story that ultimately won't change too much of that status quo.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also too the issue that you run into with filler is that Pokemon or Star Wars, where that doesn't have a manga or anything. It's telling you a story, and then there'll be an episode of a show that they just call that episode's filler. And I'm like, well, it's not. That's what this character has done. That's part of the adventure.
It's just more story.
If you didn't like it or you don't feel like it changed the status quo much, that doesn't necessarily make it filler. And I think that word taints other things that it shouldn't, I guess. I think the idea of filler for well, here's the manga, they're wanting to tell the manga story, so they made this for that. I understand more than I don't know, Ash having a random episode adventure that doesn't get him a gym badge, so then you call it filler. It's well, it's still part of his journey. It's part of his adventure,
Sure. Just because it wasn't a bullet point or one of the chapter headers for his story doesn't mean that it doesn't have the opportunity to tell a good story.
Yeah. And sometimes, especially in Naruto, there are some episodes that I think are just so much fun.
Yeah.
And I especially in some of the episodes that we've had where, yes, we've gotten in some real deep themes and dark themes and that kind of stuff, which is awesome. Sometimes it's nice to also get a little bit of lightheartedness at some points where, this is fun. And now we're back into serious.
I also like opportunities when Sakura gets to do things.
Yes, and the majority of the time that happens in filler because they don't do it in the manga, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're damn it. Let her do something.
It is sad that, I feel like some of Sakura's and maybe most of Sakura's best storylines are in the filler where they, quote unquote, don't count.
Yeah.
But
hey, I don't want
to in here
have
for me.
I don't want to have the answer to this question just be, the negative parts. It's a fantastic show.
I mean, I started with the positives.
No, I can't wait to watch more.
So, and it's the reason I am wanting to watch the filler is because I am enjoying it, you know. And by the time I get to the end of it, and I talk to Naruto fans, and oh, hey, did you ever watch this filler? I'm like, no. And then there's just part of that Naruto fandom that I'm missing now because I haven't watched it, and I would like to have seen it while I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that we've been watching it so long that some of its music is nostalgic for me.
Yeah. Dude, some of the episodes we were watching they were flashbacking. It was really nostalgic for flashbacking into the Naruto time.
The Naruto OG time.
Since there's and there would be some songs and stuff that would pop up. I'm like, ooh, wow, man, they're bringing that in here. That's cool. I love it. Really neat. MG Deep, I don't know if that's right. MJ Edip said, hello, I don't know if anyone mentioned it before, but you guys should check out Paradise show when there's a slot available. It's a really good show with a great cast.
No, yeah. I've seen a couple trailers for that. It looks amazing. It has
It's Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah, Sterling K. Brown. I can never remember his name. I'm sorry.
I've seen 2 episodes of it.
Yeah.
Melanie and I had started watching it, and then I think she continued watching it when I was really tired. Like I was like, I'm too tired to watch anything. I'm going to sleep. So I think she's on like episode 4 or something, and I've only seen like 2 episodes.
You can catch up. Okay. I thought you were saying she like.
It's currently airing, I believe.
Oh, okay. I got you. So she's like 2 weeks ahead. You can catch up.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
But no, I mean the premise seemed interesting, and I wanted to watch more of it. And it also has another actor that I like in it as well. Dang it, I can't think of his name. I can only think of characters he's been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cyclops.
James Marsden.
Marsden, yeah.
Yeah, not Marsters.
Not Marsters, Marsden.
Good old. He was in Sonic.
Yep, Sonic. I didn't want to bring back bad memories for Rick. But yeah, it's really good. It's a really good show so far of what I've seen of it.
Teddy.
Yep. Jake probably doesn't remember him.
Nope.
Gareth says, would you rather have a Green Lantern ring but inherit all of the enemies of Hal Jordan, or have the Omnitrix from Ben 10 but inherit all of Ben 10's enemies?
So Green Lantern's Rogues Gallery?
Yes. Sinestro.
Yeah.
Done. That's all I know.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I mean, there's some powerful people there.
I'll take Ben 10. And I'm gonna assume I get all of Ben 10's abilities, even the ones I don't know, which also means I get all of Ben 10's enemies, which is probably just Vilgax.
Yeah, I'd probably go Ben 10 too.
But like,
yeah.
Don't forget about the Animal Doctor. He was great.
wait, like,
Sure.
do you get to like
Professor
choose
Anima?
at what
Anima.
time in their life you take over their like Rogues Gallery responsibility ass kicking? Because like at certain points, there's some dangers that are just eliminated until something big happens, right? So you might have an opportunity to where you have like, oh, there's not really any one big bad that I have to face right now.
I mean, Green Lantern has to go against
story,
like
right?
the Anti-Monitor and the Black Lanterns.
Dude, he goes against the Anti-Monitor?
Yeah, like the Black Lanterns are like all of your previous friends that have died that come back and try to beat you up. Like that sucks. Yeah,
Dude, I don't even want to go against the Anti-Monitor.
I feel like with Ben 10, like I think I can do that. Ben's not the smartest.
I think
You know, what can I do?
Sure.
I think I could take on the enemies of Ben with the power of the Omnitrix.
I think that I could do.
Though, you know what? Yeah, I'm going with that because I don't need my imagination like I would as a Green Lantern.
Yeah,
I
like
think I would do very poorly.
Yeah.
I think I would do very poorly
I was
as
gonna say,
a
you're-
Green Lantern, having to. What can I imagine? Like
Yeah.
that, because that's what his creativity is. What really gives him power. I think, right?
Sure.
Yeah, like, I think
is
my
being able to
imagination-
visualize with his will.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be good at that.
Yeah.
yeah, I think my imagination's better than most Green Lanterns that I've seen anyway.
I think I could do pretty well.
but you got to watch out for yellow.
It
One
was
of
all
Green Lantern's
yellow.
weaknesses is the color yellow.
Yeah,
Like a number 2 pencil can get you.
They really missed out. They could have used that.
is
But
it like a particular hex code of yellow, or is there like a shade range of yellows?
I think they're pretty generous with the yellows that hurt.
Because what
Yeah.
if I just don't identify it as yellow?
Well, color blindness doesn't
don't
mean
know.
that you're immune to it.
Well,
Did you listen to that Coldplay song, or would it hurt?
Wait, is he weak to yellow, or is he weak to like what it represents of like the yellow lanterns and stuff?
I don't know. I'm sure it's changed.
Well, yeah, like the yellow
Because we have a
lantern
yellow
was
sun.
used because
It's
it
white.
was stronger, right? But it wasn't.
Tell that to Superman.
I know.
Yeah, he's your hero, Eric. Well, Calvin, sorry.
No,
Eric
it's
interrupted
okay.
you.
Like taking Carmen through a bunch of Marvel stuff. We also watched the Green Lantern movie because it was topical to Deadpool. But yeah, the can't even remember what they're called. The council, the Lantern Council or whatever. They used the Yellow Lantern in that to rule with like force and fear and everything, rather than like kindness and the forces of niceness.
Yeah.
So Rick,
So like it was a more powerful thing, but it had drawbacks as well.
so traditionally, yes, the color yellow was the weakness, but it hasn't been a serious weakness for a few decades now. It's a flaw that once the Corps identified and removed the source, which was a giant fear bug imprisoned in a big lantern, they can now overcome it fairly easily with training.
Okay.
So
They can
So
they can overcome it, but it still is kind of a weakness.
it sucks, but you can
Okay.
overcome it.
Interesting.
Something
So
that
was
only the newest recruits fall victim to.
So was it like a regular, like unflavored lantern that the fear bug crawled inside of?
I don't know.
Maybe it was a yellow lantern that he crawled into.
In the
Because yellow is
1940s,
the fear thing, right?
Sure, but it was a fear bug.
Yeah,
So,
fear
like-
bug crawled into a yellow lantern and now feared more.
the OG Green Lantern, Alan Scott, was weak to wood.
Okay, so that's where you get the number 2 pencil.
That's the number 2 pencil. No, I don't know.
Yeah, Brother Battle, Parallax.
I'm taking the Omnitrix.
Oh, the Earth 2 version of the OG Green Lantern was weak to wood. Okay.
I'll
Omnitrix, yep.
I'll take the Green Lantern because some of those transformations are kind of gnarly.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, the
okay. I
veins
changed
and
my
the-
answer.
Well,
That's
you don't
right.
want to transform like that, Eric?
I don't want
The
to change one
scrotum,
like that.
chest,
Every
and
time I
head
saw it,
and
I was like,
everything.
ugh.
Yeah.
Growing some arms and shit.
Oh, it looks
like, you can always
painful.
go back,
I don't want my arm to look like a brain before it gets muscly.
Dude, you could be Upgrade. You could be Echo.
I don't want to be Echo. The first thing I would do is, if I had an Omnitrix, is release Echo
No,
forever and be
no.
extinct because they're useless.
I want the Omnitrix. I'm gonna go outside Calvin's house as Echo and just like surround his house.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have a Green Lantern ring and I'm gonna crush you.
No,
With
no,
my will.
I'm gonna go-
With my
No,
will.
you're not. You're gonna be dead.
You will not. All right, so we have 2 lanterns and 2 Omnitrixes then, or we have 3 lanterns? Eric, what were you?
Lantern now.
Because you don't want to transform?
Nah, I don't want to transform.
The transforms turned you off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want green clothes.
I knew what to say to sway him.
Yep.
I want. You know what? I'm getting a hoverboard.
No, you're not.
No, you're
I
not.
am. You're definitely not.
I'm not
Ain't gonna
gonna use it
last.
like Ben did.
Ain't gonna last. You're
will
gonna need a
last.
couple.
You're gonna fly it the first time and it's gonna go into a vat
Just
of
gonna
acid.
break.
I will take care of that damn thing.
No,
Green
you're
Lantern-
not.
I'm pretty sure Green Lantern has a spaceship.
Just like if you're.
Then you're
if
gonna regrow
Peter
and
Parker, you don't have an Uncle Ben.
your character will grow and then it'll regress, Aaron.
If you're
No,
Ben 10, you
no.
don't have a hoverboard.
I'm Ben 10, not I'm Ben.
Everything that comes with it. From Aladdin, Cal.
Oh, it is from Aladdin. So good. Bob Ross KFP, which reminds me, I saw a video that was Bob Ross's son doing art and like showing people. I thought it was so cool.
I gotta look at it right now.
can't
Bob
remember what his name
Ross'
is.
Son doing
Like
art.
James Ross, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I saw a video of Bob Ross's son, and it made me think of like Steve Irwin.
Steve Ross, Bob Ross's son, painting a mountain. Oh shit. Okay, cool.
You see it?
Yep.
The one I watched.
I mean, this is from 1986.
Yeah, I'd never seen it before.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, it made me think of
Yeah.
Steve Irwin's son, right? Robert, is that his name?
Look at
Yeah.
But like I saw a video of him being like, "Look at the chameleon."
Dude,
you know?
I watch
And I was
Crikey Gets the Irwins all the time. I love Robert Irwin.
like, he looks so much like his dad.
Yeah,
and he
he
loves
talks like
animals,
him.
and I love it so much.
Yeah.
Dude, like Steve Irwin loved animals so much that even when he's gone, like his legacy is still doing it.
I love it.
Mm.
I love it so much.
Good stuff.
Ah. But yeah,
Bendy-
I don't. Is
Bendy
that, so that's
Sweet.
an old thing with Steve Ross then?
Yeah, this was 1986. This is his son doing it along with him, but I'm sure he's still doing it to this day.
Oh, he wasn't doing it along with him. This was him alone doing it.
Okay, gotcha.
So I don't know if he does it still or not, but
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, dude, that's so cool. Like there was a while there where like when I had trouble sleeping, like I think Bob Ross was on like Twitch or Netflix or something like that. I would just turn on Bob Ross and watch him paint and
Yeah.
just
Sure.
slowly fall to sleep.
I remember when they had like the it was a stream-a-thon of just like all of his whatever they were, PBS or whatever
Yeah.
art shows. That was great.
Which reminds me, I was gonna bring this up because I think I said something about it to Eric, but I didn't say what it was. But for Valentine's Day, I was trying to figure out something to do with Melanie, and like one, Marietta keeps on like losing more and more stuff, so it becomes less and less to do. But I saw something online that I thought was really cool. It was this couples painting thing.
Yeah.
So like you get get 2 parts and you paint something together, and then you put them together and it makes like one full painting. And I got one of those, and it is NES controllers, and their cables kind of come up in like this sunset ocean setting, and they make a heart and stuff too. And I was like, oh, that looks really cool. Well, we can paint that, and then we can hang it on the walls. But we were sick, so we didn't do it on Valentine's Day. And then we kind of had a date night the other day, and I got it all set up and ready. I put it where our Christmas tree was, so the cats can't get to it. But it was still late by the time we were able to get to it. And it's like, maybe we don't start it right now. So it's still sitting in there. So we haven't started yet. Yeah. But I'm concerned because I've seen Melanie paint, and she's Picasso to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not an artist at all.
She's an abstract artist.
I like she can do stuff I can't do, kind of thing. And she hasn't painted for a long time. But I was like, oh, this will be a fun like date night to do.
Yeah.
So I will have to update you guys once we actually get to do it, and be like, look at what we painted, and I can show you guys like, here's where I ended up.
I want to go on your Valentine's Day. That sounds great, man.
Maybe I misunderstood. Are you saying that she's really good compared to you?
Compared to me painting, she is.
I understand what Calvin means. Famously, Picasso is like, what the fuck happened to that face, dude?
Because he does the absurdist.
I was just trying to think of a famous artist that,
I mean, to be fair, like Picasso only did abstract because he was too good at realistic and got bored with it.
See, there you go. So like she did a painting or a drawing a long time ago in high school where it was like Gollum. And oh man, that looks like Gollum. That's really good, you know. Like I can't do that. I'm drawing a bowl of fruit, and like you can't even tell it's a bowl.
Yeah.
You know, like oh man. So I will. I have to let you guys know and see like how it goes.
Like how long is it supposed to take to finish the painting? Are you supposed to work on it in
There's
evenings,
a video that you're supposed to watch that kind of tells you like here's what you do, and you paint here, and you know like watching Bob Ross do it. And I think that's like an hour to hour and a half maybe for that video. And I don't know if it's the full thing or not.
Like a time lapse or something like that.
Set it up behind and just let it like record.
Just you making a painting.
Here's my process, guys. You can watch it as it goes. Maybe I can do that. I don't know. So. Anyway, Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, sorry, we're out of time. So
we're out.
No, I'll read Bob Ross's name. It was sucked to be like, oh, why did you say my name when you never did my question? I sent him on a whole other category of talking, and we never got to it. It says, you guys ever thought about watching Snowfall? It's a series based on a true story about the start of the distribution of crack around the LA area in the 80s. Very good. Lots of great acting throughout.
No.
Never heard of Snowfall.
I saw that.
Snowfall Crack.
I saw the
Snowfall Crack.
The title and the poster, but I have not seen the.
I know how to Google, baby.
The film.
I have to check it out. Thanks for the recommendation.
Someone thinks it's an FX show.
FX show?
Oh. Someone. I don't know who that is, but they thought it was.
Well, should I get to bits and donations? And we could watch memes.
Yes,
watch
sir.
Memes. Oh, there's not very many memes. Okay, well, we don't have to do the memes. Oh, man, what is this meme?
Eric, can you switch your monitor so I can see memes?
Memes.
While I read.
This picture of me is taken because, like, I got home with, on Monday, a treat stream was sent to me. And I got it late. And I don't know if the person was still in chat. And I always hate, like, when getting it. And then, like, I don't get to say thank you. So I posted saying thank you. And I took a bite of the pizza while I was saying thank you about it. But then this is the poll results, I think, right? And how close our poll was for Mr. Robot.
Yep.
And then I'm eating part of the pie. Hint Hunt, by the way, guys, is Sunday.
Sunday.
It was close. But we did have a winner.
All right, thank you, Fomarak, for the 66 months worth of subscription.
Thank you, Fomarak.
Thank you. We also have a gifted sub from Lewick. Thank you.
Thank you, Lewick. Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
I forgot about that.
I remember that now.
Man, Blue Ranger's holding up his end. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he was holding up a lot.
He is pivotal to this whole operation.
We have Russ for 28 months. Can't stay, but hi, guys.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you, Russ. That's funny.
Dale Cog, 35 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dale.
Cog, thank you.
Purple Grapes Grace, 54 months. Podcast. Anyone going to watch episode 3 in theaters again?
I saw that because I'd forgotten about it.
Oh, is it going to be a re-release thing?
It's going to be the I
20th?
mean, 2005, May 19th is when it
20th
came out.
anniversary, I think.
Yeah.
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 May 19th.
Episode 1 just had something with it, right? Me and the family, I don't remember who went with me, but I'm pretty sure we went and saw episode 1 in theaters.
Yeah.
I'll probably take them to go see episode 3 in theaters.
Yeah.
I'm mad because episode 2 is probably my least favorite of the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy.
I was gonna say what?
The good trilogy, Rick.
What?
And I never got to see that one in theaters.
Yeah.
And there's been so many times where like they were doing the 3D like re-release, and I was like, oh man, I'll get to watch them all in 3D. I'll finally get to see episode 2 in theaters.
Yeah.
And then they only did episode 1.
Yeah.
And then with this, they did episode 1 like anniversary thing or something that recently, and I was like, oh shoot, I get to watch that. And then I saw episode 3. I'm like, what about episode 2?
Sure, right.
So I'm just waiting. I'm like, I want to see, because I've seen every other release since I've been born in theaters except for that one.
That's funny because I've only seen 2 and whichever one we rented out the theater for. Which one was that?
That happened,
Last Jedi?
That happened twice.
We did Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. You would have done Rise of Skywalker because we did a reaction to
Yeah.
the first 2 for you.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep.
Episode 3 in theaters was a special time. I had like 50 of my classmates and my English and PE teacher show up midnight with us. So we had a giant group.
Nice.
They didn't all wait in line. Only like 4 of us waited. Like we left school early to wait in line. No one showed up until like an hour before. So we waited in line in vain, but that wasn't the point. Yep.
All right, Garrus for 9 months, all this time, and you guys are still entertaining as hell.
Aw,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Garrus.
Thank you, Tetsuo, for the 69 months.
Thank you, Tetsuo.
Thank you so
Tetsuo,
much.
Tetsuo.
No.
Nice.
It is nice. Thank you.
Thaddeus Spider for 43 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thaddeus.
Thank you.
LKG for 65 months.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank you, LKG.
Is a lot of months. Chris Z for 46 months.
Thank you.
Refreerin for the first time. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Swipe also for the first time. And a Prime.
Woohoo.
Don't forget you can Prime sub.
Wait, pause.
Thank you.
Pause. What?
This, I didn't know they were doing this. This says that they're releasing it in a 4DX format for Star Wars Episode 3.
What?
From the exhilarating battles over the planet of Coruscant to the fiery volcanic high grounds of Mustafar, relive this pivotal chapter in the Skywalker saga. The 4DX experience features high-tech motion chairs that sync with over 21 effects, all designed to complement the narrative of the film. I didn't know they were doing that.
Well, that's sick.
Where can I go to do that?
They set me on fire?
Did they have one in Columbus?
I hope not.
Do they clamp my legs and arms down so that they go numb?
Maybe your butt gets hot.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like a in-seat heater?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think
Do they let me kill kids?
No, probably not.
Oh.
Don't. It's probably just like, sometimes like water hits you in the face, or
Blood?
That's not water.
maybe no. There's no blood in Star Wars. It's cauterized real quick.
What about the ones that splattered?
Damn it, Calvin. All right, sorry. I saw that and I was like, whoa, what's
No, that's
this?
cool.
That's all right. It was all worth it for.
I would be okay with that.
for will they set me on fire? Jake said he missed some memes, so we'll go through those. And I've only got one more. I think Miss Moxley subscribed for 3 months. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss
Everyone.
Moxley.
Everyone who's watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have to speed run through these memes.
Wait, someone said, do any of you have accounts that you use to roast other reactors? No.
I do to their face.
Why would we do that?
Why would I tell you that?
Yeah.
I'm surprised I just do it myself, I guess.
Yeah.
Independently solvable. We're trying to figure out that.
Yes, we had a different sort of hint hunt going on over the last month.
What could it be?
Sort of.
Aaron, it looks like 4DX is exclusive to Regal, and most of the stuff around us is like AMC and stuff. So if we could find a Regal theater, you might have a chance to do it.
I mean, there's Regal in Vienna, but I doubt they have 4DX.
Regal and big.
Yeah.
It's successful.
Much bigger than
Yeah.
our local.
I was over there the other day, and they're like Tuesdays you can watch movies for like $6.
Wow.
Are there tacos?
I don't know.
Cool.
Thank you, everyone, for the memes, and thank you, everyone, for joining us for the podcast. Make sure
Thank
you're
you.
coming back tomorrow for some Marvel Rivals action at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And also,
3.
just think of this. This time next week, we would have seen 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again.
Oh my God.
Will we have?
That's next week, baby.
Oh man, that's
Right.
so cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's cool. Make sure you join us for that.
Oh.
And join us tomorrow for Marvel Now, and then next week for Marvel Then.
Yay.
All right, guys. We have a good night, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow.
Bye,
everybody.
Discovery, go and throttle up. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicles.